Welcome back, my name's Graham, I'm an artist in the UK and I make arty stuff. In today's video, I'm taking you to the UK's largest comic book convention, Thought Bubble. In part 1, we'll check out some of the independent artists, writers and publishers and get a feel for the vibe of the convention and find out why I'm here. In part 2, I'll show you some of the books and comics I picked up while I was here and explain a little bit about why I chose them in particular. Now, let's get started. So I'm at Thought Bubble. This is day 1. That's at the Harrogate Conference Centre. And it's basically an exhibition of independent comic makers. So rather than being like your Marvels and your DCs and all that kind of stuff. And it's just a really interesting mix of people making very unique comics and stories. They're telling things that are, quite different from what you'd get from Marvel or DC. So I'm basically wondering whether any of the artwork that I do can fit into something like this, So I've got the Shadows story, which currently you can follow on YouTube to see how that's progressing, and that originally started out as an idea for a short 6-page comic, but now I'm switching that around, so the idea is it will be an animated piece instead. But I don't know whether in the future I will continue along the animation path or whether I'll try and work some comics books in as well, or both. It's a really good size venue here. They've got 4 main halls, which are, goodness, I don't know, they're probably accommodating roughly 100 stalls in each one, kind of thing. So lots to see. Things for kids as well. There's lots of things there seems to be quite a lot of sort of inclusion for people with autism and things like that, I've noticed. So there's quite a few people wandering around with headphones on, and there's some sort of little quiet spaces for people to go as well. So it's a very welcoming convention. How are you creating it? Just
hand-drawn, pen and ink.
Pen and it's paper, digital colour. Yeah. Really, really nice. I like it. Actually, there's very wide range of ages here. I've seen some people in there, even older than me. Lots of cosplay stuff. I know there's a cosplay competition later, and they sort of parade and things. So it's a very inclusive conference. There's lots of people here telling stories about LGBTQ issues or disability, things like that. It's not just your sort of superhero stories that are quite, flashy and thin. There's a lot more depth to what people are trying to talk about here, and they're talking about them in very different ways. A lot of the stories people write here are personal to them, and it's a really, really welcoming place, and it's beautiful to see that. Hope you're enjoying this little tour of the Thought Bubble conference. If you are, click like and subscribe, and who knows, one day you might watch me having a little stall here. So there's a kids zone down here where they've got drawing exercises for kids, and then again they've got a nice sort of tent set out where the kids can just go and chill out for a bit if they're finding the crowds all a bit overwhelming. Lots of people drawing as well. Quite a few of the artists here are drawing, and you can come along, get a commission, or get an extra little piece signed or something added into a book that you've bought from them, something like that. So there's a really nice creative vibe. Saw a guy yesterday that was wearing a cool badge which was suggesting that AI art was not worth the binary data it was made on. And it's a real nice contrast being here, seeing people who are drawing things by hand. I've been looking at quite a bit of AI art online lately and seeing what people are doing with it. It's quite, I'm not going to say depressing, it's just, it is what it is. But the people here couldn't be further from the forefront of AI art. These are all individuals that are making things by hand and working on passion projects. There is not a lot of money in making comic books, so none of them are going to get rich overnight, but that's not what they're doing it. And that's really, really nice to see. I was watching someone the other day that was making something with AI, and they just put a prompt in. It spewed out a picture which looked, okay, but meant nothing to anyone. And then they were slapping it on a t-shirt and flogging it, and, they were going to make their fortune, which is, good luck to them, but who cares? I'd much rather come and buy an individual comic or a piece of artwork from somebody here who's made it all by themselves and is doing it just because they love it, which is, that's the whole point to art. If you're going to rely on a machine to generate it for you, what is the point, really? So, what did I buy? Well, let's have a little look. So the first thing I picked up is The Last Day of Rain, Chapter 1 by Claudia Matosa. Her comics and prints feature themes like climate change and addiction to technology connected to family, friendship and love. Fantastic. That's one. Then I also picked up Everything is Fine, an autobiographic short by Cara Brown. Artwork's got a lovely feel to this. It's a lovely sort of raw style of drawing. Quite sort of sketchy in some ways. I really like it. So then I think it's hand-drawn and then digitally coloured. Looks really beautiful. Got some strong language in it, so, watch out for the kids. But looking forward to that one. Now this, I really, really liked this guy's artwork. Very, very clean, graphical look to it. And this book is called We Said Goodbye to Gravity and Other Small Catastrophes by Chris Baldie. And yeah, this is, really interesting style. I'm going to guess that this is drawn digitally. Not that that makes any difference at all. I know some people think that, you've got to draw on paper to be doing real drawings. That's not the case at all. It's got a really, really nice, clean look. Very smooth lines, which is what makes me think it might have been drawn digitally and then coloured that way. But it looks absolutely fantastic. Really interesting and unusual layout of the panels on here as well. It looks really, really nice. Now, what else have we got? Okay, I got a couple of books by Zoe Thorogood. This one is new to me, Hack and Slash Back to School. So I think these are a series. Slasher hunter Casey Hack is only just getting used to her man-monster partner, Vlad, when she's drawn into a new case involving a murderous bunny mascot, dead kids, and an entire school of maladjusted teenage serial killers. Not for the faint-hearted then, this one. And again, it's got her amazing style of graphics in it. The composition of her individual panels in particular is excellent. Very cinematic looking. If you imagine the placement of a camera in a movie, the way she chooses to frame her characters and all her different shots is really, really strong. There's some lovely way she crops into figures and then, will go in for extreme close-ups and then wide-angle shots and things like that. And she's even got some, sort of soft focus depth of field she's working in there as well. So it's really, really interesting style. So I'm, looking forward to reading that one. Now, this is something I particularly wanted to pick up at the show, and I actually managed to get a special edition of it. And this is Who Killed Nessie by Paul Cornell and Rachael Smith. And I really like the style of this. It's, how would you describe it? It's kind of sort of a younger, friendly looking graphic style, I would say. There's sort of more rounded characters, very clean line work, strong colours, and it sounds fascinating. A cosy comedy murder mystery with a monstrous twist. Lindsay Grockle has just started her new job at an isolated hotel. She's trying to get over heartbreak. She's amazed to be left in sole charge just before a big convention. When the terrifying guests start to arrive, she realizes why. This is a gathering of the fantastic beasts of myth and legend. The attendees ask her to stay in her room and let them be. But when the Loch Ness Monster is found dead, there's nobody else they trust to solve the murder. She may not entirely believe in them, but they believe in her. Lindsay is going to have to dig deep into her own fears and vulnerabilities to discover who killed Nessie. And that just looks like an awful lot of fun. Now, this was another book that I knew absolutely nothing about, but it is called Lichen Volume 1, and I really, really like the covers. I was just walking past the stand and just thought they were really beautifully done. This is the first book in the Lichen series, and it was created, written, and drawn by Rachel Cush. She was telling me you can read this one online if you want to. I'll put some links to everybody's information down in the bottom of the video. Go and search for Lichen, Lycan, on Tapas or webtunes.com, and you should be able to find it. So, who doesn't like a werewolf story? And then the final one I picked up is a book I've actually already read, but one, I don't own a copy of it, and two, I really wanted to get Zoe to sign it for me, which she has done, and she's also drawn a little extra cartoon of the main character in here, which, is just a really lovely thing to have done. So thank you very much for doing that for me, Zoe. And this is The Impending Blindness of Billy Scott, and it's an amazing story. This is also from Avery Hill Publishing, and it's one of my favourite comic books. I just think it's absolutely fantastic. I'll read from the back for you. Billy Scott is an artist. Her debut gallery exhibition opens in a few months. Within the fortnight, she'll be completely blind. As Billy struggles to deal with her impending blindness, she sets off on a journey from Middlesbrough to London, into a world of post-austerity Britain and the problems facing those left behind. Her goal is to find 10 people to paint for her exhibition, as well as the inspiration to continue with her art and the strength to move on with her life. It's an incredible idea to tell the story of an artist that finds out they're about to become blind. I thought the initial idea when I first heard about the book was incredible, and then I got the book, and I think the way she tells this story and the twists and turns and the ending are brilliant, and it is beautifully drawn. It's a fantastic book. If you have never read a comic book or a graphic novel before, you could do a lot worse than to get yourself a copy of this book. So that is what I've picked up at Thought Bubble while I've been here. I partly came here to try and get some inspiration to see if I could monetize some of my own artwork, and I've ended up spending lots of money on other people's artwork. I've had a great time. I hope you have too. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe, and the next video about my Shadows project will be up soon, and I've also got some Herman t-shirts coming soon as well, so stay tuned. I'll probably make my own little advert to drop into the next video. Anyway, thanks for watching. I'll see you again soon.